In the past 2 weeks, Ryan and Joey have talked a ton about camera gear.
Things like 20 bucks, doesn't even count. I mean, what, like 2 grand, 2,500, you know, maybe?
If you buy the Canon 80D, you will be very happy.
And they've done that in response to people asking, dude, what camera gear are you using? But let me tell you a big secret about video. Video gear does not matter to make awesome video. Let's take John Carter. A film that cost $250 million to make, and then was later revealed to have cost $307 million. It's also the 5th most expensive movie ever made, like in the history of movies. This scene right here.
Our world is dying. A long, low echo of faded glory.
Was actually written about because it wasn't accomplished with a drone. They actually rented a helicopter so that they could fit a bigger, better, more badass camera on it. And then after all of that, the director decided he didn't even want it in the movie. What? They used the highest quality gear, experimented with the most advanced CGI technology and software at the time, and had a massive crew. And then the movie flopped. And not like, oh, okay, we lost a couple bucks on that flop, but like Rich Ross, the Walt Disney Studios chairman, a month after John Carter was released, actually had to resign. Flopped. And it made a total of $70 million in the US. Ouch. Now compare that to Avatar, which is a very similarly styled movie and which cost a total of $237 million, but made $2.7 billion. I think you get the point. Cool gear is cool, but do people remember that sick aerial shot that you spent 10 times as much on because you had to rent that helicopter with the cool camera rig, the massive camera rig, instead of just renting a drone? Oh wait, I forgot that scene wasn't even in the movie. Or do people remember how you made them feel? Do they remember the story? Take Nike, for example. In 2015, Nike reportedly spent $3.2 billion, you thought I was gonna say million, dollars on advertising. And they made some sick video ads, like
Dante, what are you looking at?
give me the ball! Now let's be honest, do you think that they have enough dough to throw at some sweet gear?
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
But in 2012, the same year Disney dropped $307 million on John Carter, Nike gave one guy with a $2,500 camera rig an ad budget to make this.
Definitely make this flight, but we're cutting it close. So far the trip is off to a fairly irresponsible start. And so it begins.
Alright, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. If you haven't seen it, link below, definitely go watch it. Now, Nike does not need to spend money on projects like this. They're like the Jordan Belfort of marketing. Belfort? Belfort.
Hey fellas, look what I found in my pocket. Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons. See that? Have fun, Cooper!
They could fund a video, and they have funded videos with the most expensive gear. They could make flawless, perfect videos, but they chose not to do that. Hold on, let's get this straight. A company with a multi-billion-dollar ad budget intentionally chose to fund this one guy's low-budget video. And that video now has over 27 million views. 27 million. Like 27 and then million right after that. Oh, and the crazier part is that they're not the only company doing this. Starbucks is doing it, Coca-Cola is doing it, Samsung is doing it, CNN, like CNN, the internationally recognized news incumbent, is funding a freaking YouTube news channel. Why? Because people love it. Because when you don't have expensive gear, cool cameras, ridiculously expensive lighting equipment, you can't rely on it. You can't lean on it. And what you're left with is the story. That's what you have to lean on. What are you telling people? Why are you telling people? How are you telling people? Where are you telling people? When are you telling people? And what are they going to feel? That is what people remember. To be totally honest, when I got better gear, cooler gear, more expensive gear, I mean, it was hella fun in the camera store, but it actually made storytelling a little bit tougher because I had to think about so much more than what I was used to. What's my ISO? What's my aperture? What's my frame rate? How many frames per second do I want to film in? When, where, and how do I adjust for all the lighting changes? Am I in focus? Ugh, so much other stuff to think about. And it kind of got in the way of my storytelling at first. I mean, when I just had my iPhone, it was point and shoot. I could devote 90% of my thought life to the story, what I was saying, instead of all that stuff. Now, what I'm not saying is don't ever buy expensive camera gear. I actually bought all of my camera gear, most of my camera gear, with my own money. And Ryan, it's like gear is like the only thing that, I mean, literally every time we get on the phone, we talk about camera gear, which is awesome. Like, he's totally nerding out on it. He loves it. And his videos look hella cool. Slow-mo? Pro. You can make an awesome story that captures people's attention, that moves people, that gets them to take action with an iPhone. But on the other hand, if nerding out and geeking out on camera gear makes you feel super happy, then by all means, like, do it. If I had to say it in 4 words, story first, gear second.